So today I thought it would be fun just to kind of hop into DaVinci Resolve and do a little color grading. If you're not familiar with my work, definitely check out my Instagram at Ohea Films. Right now I primarily edit in Adobe Premiere Pro. That's my go-to for editing. I've been using it for 3 to 4 years now. I have a certain flow when it comes to Premiere, so I've just been using that just because it's easy, I could work fast in it, and I just know how to organize all my stuff in there. But a couple months ago I ended up purchasing a license for Resolve, and I've been doing a lot of color grading in there. I've been doing this sort of process where I edit in Premiere and then export everything over to DaVinci and then color and then kind of export back to Premiere and then export from there. It's like a whole process that I know I don't really need to do, and it's kind of a bit more complicated than it should be. But today I specifically thought it would be fun to go ahead and give this new sort of film emulation plugin a try. It's called Dehancer. A lot of people have talked about this online. I've seen a lot of different YouTube videos about it, a lot of reviews and things. So this is actually my first time using the plugin. So the point of this video is basically to just try out the plugin, see if I like it, see what things I will probably use again, see what things I maybe won't use again, and then just kind of show you guys the process of like how I color grade, what looks I like, what I'm gonna wanna put on this certain footage, stuff like that, just kind of testing it out, seeing how it is. And then towards the end of the video, we're also gonna look into the app that Dehancer has on iOS. So basically all I've really done so far is I already edited a few clips together in Premiere. It's like 5 or 6 just short clips from my trip to Chicago. They're not color graded at all, so we're gonna open up the project in Resolve and then just kind of go through the clips. I already went through and did some editing and I added some sound design. Very short clips, just really minimal stuff, but I thought we could use that for now and just test it out, see what we like, find a look that works, or maybe a couple different looks. So I'll show you what I have in Premiere basically. I put together, I have this first shot of my girlfriend sitting in this car, moves on to some nice B-roll. Hand here, I really like this shot of the Uber driver. It's a really, cloudy, rainy day, which I think works well for this sort of video because we're gonna try to make it really moody. That's what the edit looks like. Let's go ahead and move from Premiere and open up this project in Resolve. I already went through and did the conversion, so we don't have to deal with that right now, but opening up Resolve, I have a few projects in here that I've been, working on. I have this San Francisco one, I have some stuff from work, one in Chicago, this Dehancer one is the one we're gonna hop into, and a few other things, but let's open up this Dehancer test project. Right now, this is what it looks like. So if we go into the edit tab, it opens up pretty similar to Premiere. I got rid of some of the other extra stuff that we don't really need right now. So we basically have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots in total. We want them to all match each other and fit this sort of vibe of this moody, rainy day. So we're gonna go ahead and move from the edit tab to the color tab. So the first thing we're gonna do, it's a little out of focus here. It's not a perfect shot. That's why I kind of added that cross dissolve. I wanted it to be like, going from dark, a little blurry here, but then, it's a lot sharper once we get off that cross dissolve. What can you do? It was a spur of the moment, just random shot. I wasn't filming for like anything specific. It just kind of happened. So that's just how it is sometimes. You can't have perfect shots every time. I'm just gonna show you how easy it is to kind of use this plugin. I know there's a lot of different stuff you could do in Resolve. There's a lot you could do for color grading. It's a seriously confusing and crazy process that I don't fully understand. I know bits and pieces and I have different workflows for different videos, but for this one, I'm not gonna be showing you how to use Resolve, how to color or anything. I'm literally just gonna be showing you how easy it is to use Dehancer and what it can make your footage look like. Let's go ahead and we have the second node now. The first one's here, just nothing on either of these, right? I'm gonna go to my effects tab right here and I'm gonna go ahead and type in Dehancer Pro. So I'm gonna drag that onto my second node. The first thing that we can do is choose our source. So we're gonna wanna choose a camera for this because I'm shooting on the Sony a7 IV, so I know what the camera is that I shot it on and I know, the format and everything. So I'm gonna press choose camera, vendor, I'm gonna choose good old Sony, and then look at that, it immediately puts it into Rec 709 and converts it. But these are the wrong conversions because it's choosing the wrong camera and the wrong format right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose Sony Alpha 7 IV, which is my camera. That's already looking a bit better, but it's still not perfect because right now it's on S-Log2 and I shot this in S-Log3 Gamut Cine. So we're gonna go ahead and choose that and bam. Right off the bat, that already looks pretty well exposed and it's a bit contrasty right now, but it looks nice. I think it looks pretty cool, it's a unique look. I don't even know what's on here right now, but we're gonna go through and, you know, just play around with things and see what we could do. The first thing I could do here is hop into this. I could adjust the exposure if I wanted to. I could adjust the temperature, the tint, if we wanted more magenta, more green. But honestly, for me, the first thing I wanna do is hop into the film profiles. There's all these different film profiles on here. As you can see, there's like a whole list. You can go down, choose different ones, and it's gonna give your image a different look. I've looked through almost all of these already, and there's some really nice ones, like that one, the Kodak Pro Image 100. That looks pretty nice. You can see some film grain on there too. Like that just looks pretty saucy, if I do say so myself. And when it comes to color grading, it's very subjective. Like I might like something that you're not gonna like, or you might like it and I don't like it, whatever. So honestly, right off the bat, this looks nice. I think this is a pretty cool look. Let's just go through and see what else we can find. I know there was one I used the other day. I just kind of opened it up and I was clicking through these to see what the different looks are. Like that's a bluer look. Kodak Gold 200, that looks really nice too. Kodak Porta 160, also a nice look. Like all of these are just different film emulation looks that you could go in and adjust, and you could even go down. There's film damage you could adjust, bloom, halation, grain, color head. So much different stuff. And then the cool thing is you can go into this print and then choose different profiles. You can choose Cineon film log, Fujifilm print film, Kodak print film, glossy paper, which is basically just, you know, taking your image and making it look like it was printed on some sort of film stock. Again, I'm not an expert on this stuff. I just take video and try to make it look nice. But I'm gonna go ahead and go back into the film profiles. I'm gonna go ahead and choose, what was it? Astrum Color Negative 125. This is one I was looking at the other day, and I really like how the colors look for this specific scene. All these other clips have nothing on them. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this first sort of look from this first clip to these other shots. I think this looks pretty good all across the board. This is a really interesting look. Let's go ahead and watch it and see what we think. All right, and I mean, I went ahead and cut that down quite a bit. You know, I thought that looked really nice. I think this film look fits the vibe of my video quite well. Let's just try a different film profile and just see how it affects the image. Okay, that one's a lot bluer, but that's also a really cool look. This is Kodak Ektar 100. And I mean, look how easy that was to do with this plugin. I literally could have done all of this on the first node if I wanted to, but I went ahead and literally only needed 2 nodes for this entire thing, for each of these shots, and I just copied and pasted. You know, you're gonna have to do more work if you need to adjust things like exposure or white balance, temperature, whatever it is. This was literally so simple though. I just threw the plugin onto one of my nodes and adjusted a couple things. The camera settings, I added the print sort of thing, and then chose the film grain I wanted. I didn't even really go through and adjust like the bloom, halation, film damage, because I don't know, I just don't think it's really necessary for this specific video, but if I wanted to switch it up, I really could. Opening up the app, I already have a folder I made. It's just called Dehancer iOS. I put some photos in there from past trips, a few from Chicago and some from New York and Monterey, just random places that I visited. And these are all photos that I took on my iPhone actually. None of these were taken on my camera. And I feel like with the app version of Dehancer, I'm really only gonna be using it for iPhone photos, things that I wanna edit pretty quickly and just, you know, get out there for like Instagram or other social media platforms. So let's go ahead and open up this photo from Chicago. This is on the Architecture Boat Tour. Right off the bat, you can see on the right here, there's a bunch of different presets that you can kind of click through and just see what they do to your image. These are all presets that were already put together by the Dehancer team. So let's see, we have Agfa Chrome RSX2 200. Pressing on that, it, you know, takes the exposure down quite a bit. It makes the photo look a lot better looking at this before and after. We have the Astrum Color Negative 125. That's the one I was using earlier in the video. Let's see, Cinestill 50D and Kodak Endura, Cinestill 800T. Ooh, that one's actually really nice. I like the halation. You could see in the building lights, there's that orange over here. Kodak Kodachrome, that one's cool, a little purple. Kodak Gold 200. That one might be my favorite so far. So let's go ahead and just go off of this Kodak Gold 200, and then we're gonna go into the edit tab. It already chose a film profile for us, Kodak Endura glossy paper. If we wanted to change it to linear, doesn't really change it too much, I guess. Oh, maybe a little bit. It's a little less blue. Let's stick with the glossy paper. I think that looks pretty solid, and the preset, you know, it was there for a reason. And then looking down here at the bottom, you have all your normal sort of photo editing tabs. You have this crop feature. If we wanted to make it 4:5 for Instagram, we could do that pretty easily. We have the films again, developer, compression, expand, print, color head, film grain. I think the film grain is really, really nice, and that's gonna be super useful for a lot of the photos that I edit. Let's see, I'd probably end up using one of the 35 millimeters. Let's try ISO 250. That's pretty nice. I like that a lot, actually. So let's keep it there. And then let's go ahead and just add in some halation, because I've been using halation a lot recently. I think it looks beautiful. Let's see what they have for their own sort of profiles here. 8mm Super 8. That looks really, really cool right off the bat, I'm not gonna lie. And you could turn down the intensity right here. It's called amplify in here, I guess. We'll keep it around 50% maybe. Let's get crazy with it just for this one, because I like how all the lights look, and this is right at dusk, basically. Let's go ahead with 8mm and keep it around 67. I think that looks pretty cool. It's definitely an intense look. So that looks really, really cool. Then we can go into bloom here. That makes it look kind of like a glow effect, almost like you put a pro mist filter over the image. Down here we have film damage. Let's see what we could do with this. We have some profiles, 35mm half frame. Oh, so that's pretty cool. So that just adds some straight up film damage. I'm gonna go with the 120 type. I think that looks pretty cool. This looks like a very intense edit for this photo, but I like the vibes a lot, I'm not gonna lie. And let's do a little before and after. Here's the before image, and here is the after image. It's definitely a specific look. I like how it brought the exposure down, and I really like how easy it was. I literally just chose one of the presets and then adjusted from there. All right, and let's go ahead and try a different image. Let's try this one from Dumbo in New York. Oh, interesting. So this applied the exact same preset and settings that we just used from that last image. But let's go back to the film tab and just kind of see what other looks we could kind of get going here. Fujifilm, these are pretty intense again. This one's kind of nice. Maybe the halation's a bit too heavy for this, but we'll go through and edit that in a little bit. This looks like a really old-timey sort of photo. That's pretty nice. But for this one, I think I'm gonna go ahead and stick with that Astrum Color Negative 125. I really like that look. Maybe we're gonna go into the source settings and maybe adjust the temperature a little bit. Right now it's a little bit orange. Let's bring it down to -4 works for me. Maybe we'll do a 35mm look for this halation. I think that looks a bit more subtle. Here's the before, here's the after. Again, before and after. And this is just an iPhone photo. I definitely think it does cool stuff to it. Let's look at this one of this tree from New York. This is in upstate New York. Wow, I really like how this looks a lot, actually. Here's the before. Here's the after. This one I really, really like. It's very minimal just on the sources of light. You can see the sun coming in through the window here. So here's the before, and here's the after. I love that a lot, that's gorgeous. Here's the before, here's the after. I really love the greens and the blues just in, you know, this before image, but I really do like what it did. One more photo of at the top of the Rockefeller Center. That's a really intense look. This is the Provia again. And this one might be my go-to, this Ilford XP2 Super 400. I think that looks pretty gorgeous. Let's go ahead and crop this one in for, let's say, Instagram. We want to bring this down a bit, center up that Empire State Building back there. Halation, let's see if we wanted to raise the halation for a black and white image. Look what it does to this. And that's a really cool image right off the bat, this black and white with this halation in there. Let's see a before, and let's see an after. So now we're gonna go ahead and see what you can do with a video. I just opened up this short 3-second clip from my trip to Chicago again. Here's what the clip looks like. I could use the edits from that last photo of the top of the rock in New York. Again, I could literally just go through all these different presets and choose different options. I don't see myself using this too often just because I use DaVinci and Premiere. so heavily, I'm just gonna stick to that. Again, there's different effects here. It has the film breathe effect, which is cool. Film damage, vignette, bloom, halation. You can see that the film damage and effects actually move here too. That's pretty interesting. You could enable dust, hairs, scratches. So you know, if you really don't have a lot of time to color grade and edit, and you just want to throw this sort of filmic look together really quickly, you filmed a bunch of stuff, you just want to throw it into Resolve, edit it, throw this plugin on, choose a look, and then go ahead and export, upload. You know, you can do that super easily with this plugin. I think it's really, really cool, and I'm definitely going to be using this for a lot of my Instagram content and YouTube content. So really, really exciting stuff.